Assalamu alaikum, Bokayi. Welcome back to the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel, guys. This is the Scorpions weekend recap. We'd like to apologize first, guys. On last midweek, there was no midweek recap. There was not a lot of games, to be honest, but there was no midweek recap because sometimes life take over and sometimes you cannot you want to do it but you cannot do it, and that was the case last week. That's why I did not show up for the midweek recap. But guys, I can assure you we didn't miss much because there was not much that was going on during the midweek. Yes, there are players here and there who scored, like Asan Cisse scored on Musa Baro scored on Momitamid for his Saudi club. But other than that, there was not much development. If I know they won. Yankomin, they played about 60 minutes in that one, but it was not one of those games where he was very instrumental in what happened in that game. They did win, which is very good for them. And this weekend they did not play. But we are back, guys, for the weekend recap, and we try to cover as much as possible, like we always do. Similar to the midweek, there is not much going on this weekend because some clubs, some leagues are already on Christmas break. They have a break until next year before they resume, like Denmark, those kind of places, and places like Netherlands. They did not have a midweek game. They did not have a weekend game rather. But they're gonna have a midweek Champions League fixture, so there is not much going on there as well. And players were not very instrumental for clubs this week. Most of them played. Most of them who were available for their clubs, they played. We see some of them returning from injuries, and we also saw some players not even in the squad, like Omar Koli, captain. So, but we will give you guys a rundown of all the players, of all the critical moments, or of all the key moments during the course of the weekend. And we are back, and where we start today, I think we start in Turkey. Definitely, we start in Turkey. Of course, there is no Gambian player in this image, but a Gambian player was involved in this game. It was Ankaragücü versus Reyes 4 in Turkey. The game ended 1-1. Crazy scenes in that game. It was really, really crazy. Ali Sowe, of course, he plays for Ankaragücü. He was involved in this game, and he was very he was very much involved in this game because of or most of the key moments he was involved in them. The game ended 1-1, and you can see in the image a referee being thrown a punch, and by who? By the president of Ankaragücü FC. The president. He had to come all the way from upstairs and then come all the way down, and then had to punch the referee. He cannot even think that this might put him into trouble. And trouble it did put him into. Currently, I heard he's in hospital. The president. I don't know why. I don't know if he later got an attack. I don't know why he's in hospital, but he is in hospital under the surveillance of security. That is under the surveillance of the police, I would say. That is the report that I read recently. But the game was crazy. Let's talk about the football side first. The game ended 1-1. Ali Sowe captained his team, Ankaragücü, in that game. He scored an early goal, but the goal was overturned for handball, which is one of those, handball rules. That is if a player handles the ball in a build-up to a goal, the goal will be disallowed for handball, regardless of if it is intentional or not. And that was the situation. In the middle of the pitch. One of his teammates handled the ball. Even though I think he was fouled into to touching the ball with his hand, but because that is what the rules say, which is a bizarre rule, which is a crazy rule in my opinion. Sometimes you just have to judge the intention. In a lot of things in football we do, referees have to make a judgment based on intention, make a judgment based on like the situation. But in the handball case, they just take that away. They just take the intention away. It used to be the case where intention used to play a massive part when you make it a decision, but no, not anymore. When it comes to scoring a goal, a handball will chop off the goal. Regardless, we saw it in the Manchester United game this weekend. It could have been 4-0. That final goal was chopped off because they said the player touched the ball, even though it was nowhere near his intention. But in that case, he scored the goal, But in the case of Ankaragücü, it happened in the middle of the pitch. The play built up. Ball went from side to the other side, and then the ball came to Ali. So, it has a lot of things that happen between the handball and the time Ali Sowe finished the goal. And it was a wonderful finish with his left foot, bottom corner. He's a top finisher, Ali Sowe. We all know that. He's a top finisher, bottom corner. It was a good goal. It was, for me, those kind of goals should not be chopped off. Should not be chopped off, ever. But by the letter of the law of the games, it is handball, because it is in the build-up to the goal. There was a handball, and VAR will take it back all the way to that incident. And that was the first incident of that game. And then later, Ankaragücü scored their first goal, a wonderful goal as well. They took the lead in the first half, 1-0. Then just before halftime, there was some scuffle. Harrison was the captain, so he went to the referee. He was talking to I don't know what he said to the referee. The referee decided to give him a yellow card. So for dissent, Harrison got his first yellow card in that game. And in the second half, he was challenging for one ball, and then the ref deemed that was like an elbow, which was not, in my opinion. And then Alisson got his second yellow card of the game, and he saw his marching orders, and he left the pitch. So Ankaragücü played with 10 men against 11. Later, Reyes also got a red card, so it went 10v10. And in the final minute of the game, that is the 97th minute of the game, 8 minutes was added, 97th minute of the game, Reyes equalized a wonderful goal as well. Not a wonderful. The header was wonderful, but then the finish was just an easy finish for the player. And that was it. The game ended 1-1. And the Ankaragücü president was filming. He was filming. He left his director's seat at the top of inside the stadium, or wherever he come from, came down to the pitch, attacked the referee, gave him a punch, gave him a blow, and the referee, fell to the ground, which was this was disgraceful, I would say. It was disgraceful to see a president of a football club, even a player who is under more pressure, sits inside the pitch, running up and down, should not do that. Talk less of somebody who is just watching the game. Of course, you are the owner of the club, you are the president of the club, whatever you are, but that does not give you the right to come down and then give the referee a punch. We have to protect the referees at the end of the day. I myself, I'm not always the biggest fan of referees when they make some easy decisions wrong, but when it comes to physical attack, it is absolutely nowhere something that we should entertain in this game. And I hope that the law, hit the president of Ankaragücü, even though a Gambian player is playing there, and I want them to succeed. I want the law to hit him as hard as he possibly can, because there is no space for this in the game, especially at this level of football. This is at the top level of football. Turkish league is one of the most respected leagues in the world. And you know what? A funny fact, what is his name? Farak, he's the president of Ankaragücü. In 2022, he was given the Turkish Fair Play Award for his club, Ankaragücü. That's the president. 2 seasons ago, he was given that award, 2022, last year, actually. He was given that award. And then he came and do this. I really feel bad for the referee. Because if they are threatened like this, who is going to take up this opportunity? Who is going to take up this job? And the assault did not even stop at the president punching the referee. It went further than that, because when the referee was on the ground, kicks were coming from all angles. You don't even know who was kicking the referee. He was only there covering his face, trying to save himself. That's what all he can do. The Real Sport players, they were trying to intervene and trying to stop. You can see the white guy, the player in the white shirt. They were trying to intervene and trying to stop the assault. But they can only do as much as they could. And this was inside Ankaragücü. So the security is it was a mess. And I just hope that the president of Ankaragücü is hit as hard as he possibly can. I'm here talking about the president of Ankaragücü, but because I'm somebody who loves football, right? And I don't think there is the space for this in football. Even though I'm here to talk about Gambian football, but you have to protect referees. I don't care where they are coming from. They are coming from Turkey. They are coming from wherever they are coming from. They have to be protected. Because without the referees, the football games will not go on. Even though we can question their decisions here and there, but that does not permit us to go beyond that. To go beyond, just verbal talking to them. And even when you use verbal abuse on the referees, like you're gonna be punished. Talk less of physical abuse. It was absolutely like a no starter. This is a no starter in the game, and I hope the president is hit as hard as he possibly can. Ban him, whatever measures are there to hit him as hard as he possibly can. Please let them do it. Currently, because of this, the Turkish league has been suspended indefinitely. We don't know when the Turkish league is gonna play again. Just for one action, just because of one action of one person, one president, now the whole league has been suspended because of him. So all those things are gonna be on him. Everything is going to be on him. And that was the situation in that Ankaragücü game. I've spent a lot of time talking about this one. Let me just move on to our other Gambian players. But yeah, it was really disappointing. It was really disgraceful from him. Elsewhere in Turkey, Modou Baro, he returned from his injury. He was out for a while. And he played about 14 minutes for Sivasspor. They won their game 1-0. Omar Colley, another drama is going on in Besiktas. Besiktas played against Fenerbahce this weekend. Besiktas lost the game 3-1, and Omar Colley was not involved in the game. After the game, I read some reports that the Besiktas have suspended some of their senior players because of their level of performance. They have not been doing well lately. They have been losing games left, right, and center. And Omar Colley was not involved in the game. I'm not saying he's one of those senior players that is suspended, but some of his teammates were suspended. According to the names I hear, Abubakar is one of the names. Ghezal is one of the names that I had. Bailey, Eric Bailey, the former Manchester United defender, is one of the names I had. Omar Colley is not part of the names I hear, so I don't know anything about it, but he was not involved. And I also checked their injury records, and he was not part of the injured players. So I don't know why. So I'm not going to speculate about Omar Colley on that, but he was not involved in this game. And it happens to be in a game where some of their senior players have been suspended. So we will see what happened. But I don't think he is one of them. I hope he is not one of them. I hope his non-involvement is not part of that issue of punishment because of performance and Turkey is a crazy place, to be honest. Right now Turkey is a crazy place, but I think this will do them the world of good because no league games to play for now, even though they have the Europa Conference game to play in midweek, but the league they are not. And then you look at in Belgium, we moved to Belgium. We spend a lot of time talking about Turkey. I cannot I cannot hit my 10 minutes mark. I'm sure I already gone past that, or I'm very close to that. But anyways, speaking of Belgium, Aliou Fadera. Recently, he was in the national team and played against Ivory Coast, a game that everybody, even though Gambia lost the game, he was praised very well because of his performance. He was one of the best performers in that game. I think anybody who watched that game felt he was one of the better performers for Gambia in that game. And since then, he returned to his club. He has replicated that form, even though the numbers is not showing for it in terms of goals, assists, but in terms of performance, he is doing really well for Genk. This is why he has started the last 3 games. The last three games that they have played in the league and the Europa League, he has started them. The only game he missed was a cup game, and usually, sometimes you want to rest your key players in cup games, and that's the only game he missed since he went from the African Cup of Nations back to his club. And in their game this weekend, he created the most chances. He created 4 chances. One of them was a big chance that he created. He won the most fouls for his club, 5, and then he won the most duels for his club. He also was involved in most duels. He was involved in 21 duels in that game. He won 9 of them, which was the most by any player in that game, Aliou Fadera, And then he played the 90 minutes, which is not very often to see him play 90 minutes for Genk. Seeing that even without him scoring a goal and then being rated highly in that game, performance-wise, why, it's a good thing because he's a player who could be crucial for Gambia going into the African Cup of Nations. He's one of those players picking up form right just before we get to the African Cup of Nations. We have 33 days to go before the African Cup of Nations. So now is the time you want to see your Gambian players playing regularly, picking up the good form so that we can, take that form into the African Cup of Nations. Yeah, that's it from Belgium. Next, we move to England. England, the key thing is seeing Ivo Adams playing again. Even though he did not play a lot of minutes, he was introduced in the final few minutes of the game. Cardiff won their game 1-0. As we know, he has missed a lot of game time for Cardiff. He's mostly on the bench. Regularly, he's on the bench. He's training and all those things. But when it comes to match fitness, he's lacking it a lot. And I have said in my previous videos that he's a player who needs to run. Like he plays with his legs. Like when I say that, I mean he's a runner. He's not a player who you will expect to be passing the ball, moving, but he's a player who runs a lot, cover ground, and all those kind of things. So for these kind of players, like minutes is quite crucial for them because they need their legs to perform at their highest level. So seeing him getting some minutes this week for Cardiff is something that is beautiful to see, and seeing that Cardiff have also won because they lose their last previous 2 games. So him coming in and helping them to get the win, even though it might be a very small, help in terms of the time he came on the pitch, it's positive. It's positive, and hopefully he can, start building up more minutes ahead of the African Cup of Nations. If you look at the other places in England, you can look at League 2. Stockport, they drew 1-1. Ibu Toure, again, he got his 90 minutes. They are still top of the league. Wrexham, who are second in that league, they did not play this weekend. Their game was postponed, so there was no game for Jacob Mendy. Swindon, they lost badly 4-0. Serukan did play 90 minutes, and Doncaster Rovers, they drew 0-0, and Mofal also was involved for the whole 90 minutes. We move next to Austria. Sidi Jata, he is one of those players that I hope will choose to represent Gambia. He plays for Sturm Graz in Austria. They are currently second in the league. He was suffering from injury for a while. I think he missed the last 7 games for his club. But he came back, returned, and then he was straight back into the starting lineup, which says a lot about how the club, values him. He's just a 20-year-old player. Of course, he has the option to represent Norway. But because you can hear the name, Sidi Jata, he's Gambian, by descendant. Hopefully, maybe country is taking notice. We realized, we just saw that Mulamin Sonko, we might lose him to Sweden because they have called him into their camp in January, so it's probably we're not gonna get that one. But he is there. He's still there for the taking. Sidi Jata. He came on for Sturm Graz over this weekend. He started the game actually, and then he scored the only goal of the game. They won 1-0. That is his first start in 8 games. Actually, like I say, the last 7 games he was injured, so he was not available. But came back from injury straight into the starting lineup and winning games for Sturm Graz for a 20-year-old. Yeah, he's quite a special player and a good striker. Another striker in the ranks that we could consider. Yeah, he played about 60 minutes. And elsewhere in Austria, Lask, Ibrahim Adabo was also in action. He played about 74 minutes for his club Lask. They won the game 3-1. He created the most chances in that game. This is his first time in Lask, starting back-to-back games. He has been suffering. When he came, he was suffering from injury, from his ACL injury. He was not fully healed. And then when he started playing, he was coming here and there, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then he got another injury in the previous international break, in the October international break, before he came back recently and started the last 2 games, played 72 minutes and then now playing 74 minutes. He lacks winning again. So that is a very good sign also to see. And next we go to Bulgaria. There was a Gambia versus Gambia clash because CSK Sofia played against Ludogorets. CSK Sofia, Seni Sayang plays there, and Ludogorets play Noha Sonko. And it was a very important game because Ludogorets were third in the table, and then you had CSK Sofia were second in the table. So they were very close, and they were all very close to the top of the table. Ludogorets came out on top against CSK Sofia. Seni Sayang was an unused sub for CSK Sofia, while Noah Sonko, you can see him in the image, he was part of the defense that kept the clean sheet against CSK Sofia and gave them that very important win, to take them ahead of CSK Sofia on the Bulgarian league table. Yes. And Babkat Gay, he also played in Bulgaria for Lokomotiv Sofia. But for him, as usual, he continued to be on the bench. However, the only good thing I would say about him being on the bench recently is his club are also struggling. Um, uh, like I don't want to see his team struggle. That is not the point. But the point is because they are struggling, they are conceding goals. That might give him an opening, to get back another chance to be the number one. In the last 5 games they played, they have failed to win in the last 5 games that they played. And then he missed the last 6 games. That was which is this. Since he conceded a lot of goals, I think 6 he conceded, and then after that he lose his spot. The goalkeeper came in, they won the game. They won the next subsequent game, but since then they have not win any game. So maybe there might be a need for another goalkeeping change sometime because the coach, you can see, Babkat Gay was the first choice keeper, and then he lost his place to the second choice keeper, and then the second choice keeper lost his place to Babkat Gay, and now it tells you that the coach is not afraid to change his goalkeepers. So that might give Babkat a glimmer of hope that he might break into the starting 11 again, which will be very important because we saw in the last international break, Tom decided to use Toldo, who is a veteran goalkeeper now for Gambia. In my opinion, in my eyes, he's a veteran goalkeeper. So for me personally, I don't want to see Toldo starting in goal for us. I want to see other keepers, stepping up, the upcoming young keepers stepping up. I respect Toldo, with all due respect, but I want to see the other players. And also, the way he plays and the way I would like to see my keeper play. Like I think Babka Gay give me that vibe better than Tolo. So that's why I want him to play some games so that he can regain that number. Because if he's not playing, Tom is now taking that kind of attitude of if you're not playing, you're not gonna play for my team, even though he doesn't do it 100% in his team, which is understandable. But yeah, I want to see Babka Gay playing again, and hopefully the form his club are suffering from right now, that will help him get back that number one spot in his club. Next is Czech Republic. There was also another Gambian versus Gambia class. Sirif Sinyan played against Lamin Jawo. Slavia Prague versus Mladav Boleslav. The game ended 2-0 for Slavia Prague. Sirif Sinyan came on in the second half, played the last about 20 minutes, whilst Lamin Jawo also came on for Mlada in the last 30 minutes of the game. So the game ended 2-0 for Slavia Prague. And finally in Morocco, finally in Morocco, there was Modou Bojang, coming off the bench to score a 93rd minute winner for Kaukab Marrakesh to keep them at the top of the Moroccan league. Yes, that was it, guys, for the update this week. And I'm sure you guys saw the November Player Team of the Month, which I haven't had time. Because if I did the midweek recap, I would have discussed the Team of the Month. But I would just do a brief thought. I would just give you a briefing about my thoughts behind the Team of the Month. CSCB kept his place because he was not exceptionally good in the month of November, but no Gambian goalkeeper was either. Toldo played one game for his club, I think, or 2 games. They lost. He played 1 or 2 games for his club and won one, and they lost the other one, I believe. No clean sheet. And then he came to the national team. He did not do well. Gambia lost the 2 games, 3-2 and 2-0. He conceded all those goals. So like he was an option there. And then you look at Babkat Gay, he's not playing at his club. He did not play for the national team, so you cannot have him there. And then you look at Estonia, Stek is not playing because they are on a break. The Estonian league has ended, so he's not playing. Sweden league has ended, so the only obvious option was Sibi. Even though he was not great, he only kept 1 clean sheet in 5 games, and then I think they lost 4 of them. So he was the only option. Omar Koli too, there was no defensive options available. He was injured mostly for the period, but there was no defensive option available. So I just had to pick one defender, and he was the one I decided to go with. Noah Sonko was not playing regularly. He was injured during the month. James Gomez was not playing for his club. He came to the national team. He only played a handful of minutes. Elijah Sen is not playing regularly for Horsens, and they are not really winning games. So in terms of defense, there was no obvious option. I had to put Ibu Toure there because he did well when he came back for his club, Stockport. They were winning games, and he was helping them keep clean. He even got an assist during that period. So I decided to put him there. But Jacob Mendy was exceptional. We remember in his debut for the national team, he was really, really good. Did an exceptional job. His club, he scored an exceptional goal when he returned. He also got an assist during the month. They won. I think they did not lose any game at club level. 3 wins they had during that period. And Shady Janko too, he was very good for his club. Scored a goal in November, And yeah, in the national team too, he came with a very good performance against Ivory Coast, even though Gambia lost that game. In the middle, of course, Mamadou Bajo. He has been exceptional for his club at Slovakia. That is Port Brezova. And then you look at Seydou Khan, he scored that belter of a goal during the month of November, and he got a couple of assists when they played against Stockport in their 4-2 defeat. Abla Jallo Jamano, player of the month. You guys voted him player of the month. He was exceptional, scored an exceptional goal against Leon, and then created that exceptional assist, which, for me, is one of the best assists I saw this season. Scored the penalty for like 3 games for his club, 3 goal involvements. He was even nominated for the team of the month in France, and nominated for his club's best player of the month. Ibrahim Akoli also, made his Champions League debut, scored for the national team, the penalty, which was a bit controversial, but also, scored and assisted for his club at in the league, where he was named man of the match in that game. So he was very good. Bakary Diatta continued his good form for Hamburg, even though they are struggling since December started, but in November he scored a couple of goals, got an assist in 4 games. And Mo Fall, the kid who cannot just stop scoring 3 goals in the month and getting another assist. So yeah, that was the team of the month, guys. And yeah, I'm sure you guys saw it in our socials. And yeah, I'm just wanted to give you guys the rundown of what were the thoughts behind it. Yeah. Today is a bit long, right? I'm sorry for that, because I kept rambling on the first topic. That was the Turkish incident. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel to move. And if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do so. We will really appreciate that. This was the Scorpions weekend recap, brought to you by the Jollof Football Bantaba. And watch out for more in the coming days on the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. Ciao, guys. Goodbye.